Hello, Team North America. It is fantastic to have this opportunity to connect with you. Ashley, thank you for inviting me to spend some time with you. And I just want to start out by congratulating every one of you for being on your leadership call. We know that somebody signs up to become a promoter for a reason. Whether that reason is to improve their health or to achieve a financial goal or dream, it's very important to us at Neolife that you take that journey from where you are to where you want to be. And the fact that you are committed to joining calls like this tells us that you are invested in your business and you are serious about your future. And I so appreciate that and admire that. I'm guessing I'm meeting some of you for the first time, so I'll do a brief introduction of myself. My name is Drew McDermott. As you can hear from this funny accent, I don't live in America. I live in South Africa, and I have the honor and of serving our Neolife community in Africa as the Vice President of Field Development for East and Southern Africa. But my journey in Neolife started many, many years ago. In fact, my parents became distributors 51 years ago. And Neolife completely transformed their lives and transformed our families' lives for generations to come. And so that's where a lot of my passion for Neolife comes from, is I lived it. From a kid, I saw this business take us from where we were to where we are today. And I became a distributor at the age of 18. It wasn't a big occasion. I was studying at the time. And I didn't achieve any success in Neolife until the age of 27. In fact, I worked for 13 years in the investment banking industry. And at the age of 27, I started setting some goals for my life. And I desired a better lifestyle. I'd seen the lifestyle Neolife had provided for my parents, and that was attractive to me. And so I reached out to my sponsor, my mother and my father, and said, okay, show me what I got to do. And they taught me the business building fundamentals that build the Neolife business. And I went out and I applied those fundamentals on a part-time basis. And for probably close on 9 years, not having any success, when I started to do the work, I went from unqualified manager to 3 Ruby director in less than 3 years. And there's a story in that is, what I learned through that process is becoming a Neolife distributor doesn't make you successful. Every one of us has a Neolife, as you call it, promoter. Sorry, we call it distributor. When you become a Neolife promoter, you have the gift of Neolife in your hands, but it does nothing until you do something with it, until you go out and you do the work. And so that's what I want to talk about today. Some of the business building fundamentals. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't matter if you live in the USA or in Europe or in Africa, these fundamentals remain consistent. Yes, we might apply them slightly different in different markets, but these fundamentals remain pretty consistent. And so I'm going to talk to you about what I see happening in Africa, where really we are getting results, and what are the distributors doing to get these results. And just to talk about results in Africa, and I'm giving you these numbers because I love success. We love success in Neolife because when we succeed as a company, it means our distributors are succeeding. When our distributors are succeeding, it means that they are changing lives out in their communities, out in their cities, either by empowering people to better health or to a financial future. Over the last 12 months in Africa, we've developed 1,417 new directors. We've developed over 300 new Sapphire directors, over 144 Ruby directors, and we are currently averaging at about one new president's team member step up per month. And how are we doing that? Through these business building fundamentals. The activity is very, very high in Africa, and we focus around these fundamentals. So let's talk about the first thing. I believe leadership is a key cornerstone to building this business. And there's different versions of leadership. You got to lead yourself. Then when you lead yourself, you can develop other leaders, and then your leaders can go and develop other leaders. But I really believe we need to focus on what we call level one leadership, which is leading yourself first. Because it's been proven time and time again in our business, you cannot lead anybody until you lead yourself first in doing these business building fundamentals. Because the essence of leadership is leading and setting that example for others to follow in your team. And we see that often. If a team is not recruiting, it's normally because the leader has not set that example of the activity of their causes, recruiting in a team or sponsoring. And so let's talk about some of the fundamentals. The first one is using the product. And it sounds so simple, but I really believe the power is in the simplicity in our business. We don't need to complicate this business. What is your product usage like in your home? If I had to challenge you and if I had to come and spend a day in your home and I had to walk past your kitchen sink where you do your washing, where you wash your dishes, what would I see? What product would I see there? If I had to walk past your washing machine, would I see your new version of your G1? If I had to spend some time with you in the shower, what would I see in your shower? Would it be a product that you bought from the supermarket, or would it be a product that you purchased from your own business, Neolife? If I was to watch you do your skin routine in the morning, what would I see? If I spent breakfast with you and your family and your children, would I see any of the nutrition on the breakfast table? Because when we use products in our home, it causes PV. It causes us to move PV. And this is what I was taught by my sponsor. You hop in the shower, and when you use the shampoo, you wash your hair and you go PV, PV. When you wash the dishes we use LDC. Here in Africa, you might use green, I'm not sure. But when you're washing your dishes, you can go PV, PV. Every time you use a product, it causes PV to happen in your home. And your home needs to be moving PV. And it's not just about moving PV, it's about building the belief in the product. And Neolife, you can learn so much about the product. We have the most amazing scientific advisory board. And I listen to somebody like Dr. Susan Beck, and my excitement for the product goes through the roof. But that information lives in your head. But to get that information from your head to your heart, you're going to have to use the product and develop your product stories. The second fundamental of building a business is talking to people. And I love this one because when you unlock the skill and master the skill of talking to people, this is how you unlock success in your life. This is the skill that will help you take your next step and your next step and your next step in this business. And I just always think there's 4 very simple aspects to talking to people. The first aspect is, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to now? For a new distributor, it's obvious. They develop a list of names of their warm market, their friends, their family, people that they know in their community that they're going to start talking to. But as you grow in this business, you need to develop a system for yourself, not a system that you teach to your team, a system for yourself that you use that will enable you to meet new people to talk to. And I always remember a session that Jerry Brasfield shared at an Impact Summit when I first started building this business. And he spoke about a system he developed as a young distributor, where every day he would put 5 beans in his left pocket, and he would intentionally go and meet 5 people every day. And every time he met somebody new, he'd take a bean out of his left pocket and put it into his right pocket. Take it out of his left pocket, put it in his right pocket. His day was not over until all 5 beans had been moved from his left pocket to his right pocket. That simple little system, if he did that for 6 days out of 7, he would meet 25 new people a week, 100 new people a month that he could talk to, right? So he never ran out of people that he could talk to. So who are you talking to now? These days we have the wonders of social media. So whether you're meeting people on social media or in real life in your day-to-day living, you can't just hope to meet people accidentally. You're never going to meet enough people accidentally to build this business. You're going to have to intentionally have a system that keeps people flowing into your funnel that you are going to be talking to. The second aspect of talking to people is, how are you going to invite these people to take a look at your product or take a look at your opportunity? Now, I'm not going to give you a script. I really believe inviting comes down to your personal relationship with that person, and you need to use your self-awareness and your intuition and your personality. And in most cases, if you meet somebody new, we always use this example. Most people don't ask their wife to marry them on their first date. But sometimes when you meet somebody for the first time, there is an opportunity where you can reach out to them and say, hey, I think I've got something that could be of value to you. Can we talk further? But very often there will be a lot of contact points in that relationship with that person while you find out what they need, what they want, what they like, and how you can add value to them. And so, do you have a clear system where you can naturally reach, and I say naturally reach out to them so it doesn't feel weird, so it feels natural. And you can say, hey, Bob, yeah, I really believe I've got something that could add value to your life. Can I invite you to as my guest onto the call tomorrow night? Or can I buy you a cup of coffee and share a little further with you? So being able to meet new people, who are you talking to now, and being able to invite them to see your product or your opportunity. And that's the third aspect of talking to people. You need to effectively be able to communicate the benefits of your product and your business opportunity. And so this is also a leadership thing. If you are always relying on your upline leader to present the product or the business, then you immediately have a ceiling or cap on the growth of your business. As the leader of your business, you're going to have to develop the ability to effectively give a good product presentation. But here's the important part. If you are only talking about the product, you build a team of customers, which is great. We all want customers. But our compensation plan says to succeed in your life, you have to build a team of other business builders that use the product, go out and meet people and find other business builders who use the product, and go and find other business builders who use and share the product, right? And so it's very important that we're not just talking or presenting the product, that we also put ourselves in a position for the people that have a need for financial opportunity. And trust me, there are many, many out there where we can effectively communicate the value of our compensation plan. And we have a good way where we can show people how they can take their financial situation from where it is to where they want it to be through Neolife. And I know this more than anything. There isn't a goal or dream that cannot be achieved through the Neolife opportunity. I've seen it over and over again. And we truly got to believe that as Neolife promoters. The fourth aspect is once you've presented to your prospects, they might sign up on the day, they might not. There's the skill of following up and following up and following up and following up, doing it with love, but doing it effectively. Do you have a clear system where you follow up with people? And I was talking to a distributor just 2 days ago, and they were very excited because they had just sponsored a person that they had started talking to a year, or it might have even been 2 years ago. They attended a presentation. They did not sign up, but they just kept that relation. They weren't hounding this person. They just kept the relationship going. They just kept the relationship going. They kept following up. They kept on understanding what this person wanted, what they needed, where they were in life, and they had a situation change. And now they were perfectly positioned to join as a Neolife promoter, and they were excited to build this business. So who are you talking to now? Do you have a good system to follow up people? Are you competent in presenting your product and your opportunity? Don't only present the product, also present the opportunity. Very, very important. And do you have a good following up system? And so nobody falls through the gaps in your net. And the final business building fundamental is also hugely important, which we know is personal development. And personal development, this is something which we have to be leading ourselves in. And I'm not talking about just reading good books or listening to good podcasts. Let's bring a practical aspect into our personal development. And so the key thing I believe personal development is built around is what is your goal and what is your purpose for your business, for your life? And there's 3 aspects to setting a goal for your business. Number 1, that goal for your business needs to be motivating. Not to your upline leader or sponsor, not to anybody else other than yourself. Your goal has to be motivating enough because there will be days when you get up and you don't feel like going out and meeting new people. You don't feel like getting on social media and following up with the people that you are working with at the moment. You don't feel like going and presenting the opportunity to that prospect. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. But if your goal is motivating enough, you're going to do it anyway. And here's the thing. Success in Neolife doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about the action that you take day in, day out. So make sure that your goal is motivating enough to keep you doing the activities that build this business consistently. Not for the next month frantically and then taking a month off, consistently for the next 3 to 5 years if you want to change your life. Number two, make sure your goal is strong enough to keep you going. If you've been in this business for 5 minutes, you will know that we experience disappointments like any businesses. If you are stepping out of your comfort zone to achieve something significant, you're going to put yourself out there for failure and disappointment. We need to be okay with that. But your goal needs to be strong enough to get you up and running once again. Because when you fall down, you have a choice. You can stay down. And we see that too often. We call that people quitting. But when you fall down and you have the strength and the motivation because your goal is strong enough to get you back up to continue, you get back up stronger. You get back up more motivated. You get back up a little bit wiser. And I will never forget the first person I ever shared this opportunity with was with my best friend. Still to this day, my best friend. And he was so negative. He said, Drew, why are you even doing this? This isn't going to make you any money. My aunt tried this business years ago. It didn't work for her. It was a terrible experience. I didn't feel good about it. And man, I wanted to quit before I even got started. But my wife and I went back and we revisited our goals and the reasons why we started. And we said, okay, is this guy going to educate our children one day? Is he going to get us out of this toxic investment banking industry that we're not enjoying? Is he going to offer us the opportunity to travel? We love to travel every year. Will he look after us one day in retirement? And obviously the answer to all these questions were no. And at that point, we made a decision. We would never again put our future in the hands of other people's opinions. And that decision changed our lives forever. And I'm going to encourage you to have a goal that's strong enough that enables you to do the same. And the third aspect of a goal is your goal exciting enough to attract other business builders? And this is a big one. If your goal is, sometimes people say to me, well, I just want to help people improve their health. And we love that goal. That's part of who we are as Near Life promoters. But that goal is going to attract you a group of customers, right? And we love customers, don't get me wrong. But your business also requires business builders. And a business builder is somebody who joins Near Life because they have a financial goal or dream that they're running towards. And your goal is so exciting that they can see your future, or they can see their future in your goal. Your goal is big enough to accommodate their dreams and goals. So make sure your goal is motivating enough to keep you going. It's strong enough to get you back up and strong enough to help you manage your emotions. And number three, it's exciting enough to attract other business builders into your team. So team, North America, it's so wonderful to have this time with you. And I just want to finish off with a verse which has been on my mind for a good few months. And it's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. The Lord has plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I just really believe that every one of us has been put on this earth to prosper. When you are blessed, you can go out and be a blessing to other people. And in this life, your success can help so many, but your failure helps nobody. So own it. Decide that you are going to succeed in your business, and know that any goal that you have, any goal that you get excited about, you can achieve as a Near Life promoter. You are with the right company. You've got an amazing team over there. And I hope to meet you all in person one day. God bless you all. Ashley, once again, thanks for having me. Have a great call.